Tracy was upset. She was livid. Once Mary mentioned her jailbird boyfriend, for whatever it was, whoever she was pursuing in jail, right, that can't take her out on dates or make love to her when, whenever at a drop of a dime. You can't call him whenever you want. He can't call you whenever he wants. When Mary brung up that, I'm talking about Tracy's whole face, it looked like a red tomato. She was mad. She was heated. Her whole face turned red. She said, mention my business again. Mention it again. So now you got to think about this. Mary is petite. She about 5'4", 5'5". Okay? She's petite. Tracy is 6'1". Thick. Okay? She would just crumble little Mary up. So I was just like, why are you trying to run up on this girl, right? So all of a sudden, as they going back and forth, Lala she hits the corner because she was in there rolling up. She hits the corner, boom. She like, y'all, chill out. The security guard just came. She like, look, I'm not trying to get a fight. I just told y'all my kids got to stay here. She like, if y'all keep doing this, I'm going to kick all y'all to out. Just like that. She kept saying, I'm going to kick y'all to. I'm not playing. So Tracy like, I need to smoke, G. I need to smoke. I need to smoke. She like, come on, I'm rolling up. Come in the room. Now, here's the deal. Normally when they go in there and about to do, you know what I'm saying, a session, they would hit me up. They would hit me up, like, text the phone, like, hey, we done rolling. Or she'd be like, hey, shorty, you want to come hit the blunt? Or she'd be like, hey, come in there with me. So she ain't say none of that. It just her and Tracy, they biggity bounced in the room. I didn't care. I stayed in the living room. So I didn't say nothing. I'm just sitting there like making it feel, I guess I was making it feel awkward because I was just like, oh my God. Like I felt like it was my fault. Like I got these two sisters fighting. Like, and I'm like, and it's over me. And at first I was just like, oh, it was cool. But then when I started to realize like, man, I'm tearing up a relationship. Right. But I was still like, man, but I didn't know me and Tracy was really together. I just thought she liked it because I was putting it down and she locked me up in her room. It wasn't like we was going on dates or nothing. We weren't super trying to get to know each other. She didn't even know what kind of pop I liked. Her and Mary went to the store one time and Tracy grabbed me an orange pop. And Mary said, nah, he liked fruit punch. And she was wondering like, Dad, when they got back, I was like, oh yeah, my favorite. Tracy didn't even catch it. She didn't even catch it. She was just looking like, yeah, I was getting you orange. Mary knew you wanted fruit punch. And in my mind, I'm seeing who's studying me, right? I see who's paying attention to me. Boom. They in there, they chiefing or whatever. Mary don't want to eat. I don't want to eat. They're just upset in my stomach. So we sit down on the couch. I'm like, I'm sorry. She like, you gonna have to pick. Now she out there drilling me. You gonna have to pick. Here come this ultimatum. You gonna have to pick it. So I'm like, she like, you say you want to be with me, right? I'm like, I do. She like, okay, tell her. I'm like, right now? Like, wait, you want me to do it at this? She like, so when you gonna do it? I'm like, I'm trying to prolong it a little bit. All this just happened. I don't want to come and just lay that in her lap. I was just like, I'll tell her tomorrow. She like, okay, well, I'll wait until tomorrow. So they was in there chiefing. I want to smoke too. So I'm like, man, I don't think they gonna call me in and hit the blunt. I'm like, and I ain't had no bud. So she like, you want me to go get you some? Now, Mary didn't smoke. Mary didn't like that. So I was like, I couldn't even see her going to go buy that. So it shocked me. I was like, where you gonna get it from? She like, don't worry, I'll be back. She dipped, right? She dipped. Now I'm just sitting there by myself like, okay, she probably went somewhere in the building. Boom, she leaves out. She's gone like a good 15, 20 minutes. So I'm like, where is this girl? So I'm calling her. She not picking up the phone. What? Boom, she finally comes. She comes back. Now, Tracy ain't came out there and they in there. They chiefing it up. They sipping. Mary come, I'm like, what took you so long? She like, I had to go get those wrap things that you like. I'm like, Swishers? She like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So she came back a big bulge of some sour diesel. I'm like, oh, she like, yeah, I was thinking the whole time walking. People was asking me like, do I got that stuff? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, where you get this from? She like, don't worry about it. I got peoples that do it. So I'm like, okay, I didn't think about it. In the moment, I was just happy that, dang, like, this enough to last me for a good week. Boom, she dug in her pocket, had me a small thing of Hennessy. I'm like, oh, cause then I used to tear Hennessy down. Hennessy just was my drink before I started having scotch. But Hennessy, that was my thing. She had me a nice little thing of Hennessy. I'm like, oh, this might end up being a good night. So I'm like, you want some of that? She didn't really drink, but she didn't mind having like a little sip with me. So I pulled a little bit. Now we in there sipping. So I rolled up my little blunt or whatever, and I'm drying it. So Lala comes out. She's in the kitchen. She just got on a regular like t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? She had on some undies, but she didn't have on like no pants or nothing like that. So she in there making some nachos. So I ain't thinking nothing of it. I flamed the L up. So she like, hey, did y'all put a towel down? I'm like, towel? I didn't know what that mean. Only towel I knew to put down is when a woman is on a cycle and you still. That's the only towel I had knew. Okay, I didn't know nothing about no secrets of unlocking. No, putting the towel down. So she like, yeah, because y'all right here by the door. So at the time, my ear still burning. And so Lala like, yeah, y'all gotta go in the room. I'm like, oh, okay. So she like, yeah, you can go in the Nary room. Don't go in the Vine room. I'm like, okay, so boom, I go in the Nary room. Hit it a couple of times. I never was a type that'd dome a whole L. So I hit it a couple of times, put it out. Boom, I'm walking past Lala. As I'm walking past Lala, she stopped. She like, hey, you wanna have a little session with us? I'm like, if y'all want to. I'm like, I know y'all doing your own thing. She like, yeah, I just wanted to talk to her and calm her down. She like, that's why I didn't call you in for the first session. She like, but after this, we can, I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting down, chilling in the living room. And so I'm like, I got to get ready to work up to let her know that I'm finna go in the room. So all you hear is, do at the door. So she like, who is this? She like, that's probably Cece, right? Because they knew everybody in there. Remember, Cece is the girl that liked me, that brought me to the party. But all of a sudden, I had kissed Tracy. And Cece just wasn't feeling Tracy no more. So I kind of like put a wedge with that because Tracy knew that Cece liked me. She had told everybody like, man, I met this guy, like he's cool, woo, woo. And it's like, she was bragging about me. So when I came around, everybody knew about me, right? Everybody. So this is like like how you tell your friends like that's mine, but then one of the friends go try to go grab them. You know what I'm saying? And then you look like dag, and she was looking at Tracy like an auntie. So they fell out, right? So Tracy didn't really care. Tracy liked me, so she didn't care that she lost Cece, and she knew Cece for years. But she was still cool with Cece mama, Cece brother, and Cece other sister, right? So Mary like, that might be Cece. So she looks. She like, that's the security guard. I'm like, what? She like, so I hurried up and I just ran in, ran in Lala's room. She like, what's Shorty? I'm like, the security guard. She like, what now? So she comes out and the security guard like, hey, it's an odor coming from your door. She like, so Lala, you hear Lala like, why you keep coming to my door? Because Lala had a mouth. Lala Leo. She don't play that. She had a mouth. You don't think it's sweet. So she like, why y'all keep aiming at my door? Y'all keep coming at my door. How y'all know it's the odors coming? They like, man, as soon as we walk towards the door, it's strong. So she said, okay, I'll spray some. So she grabbed a Febreze. She sprays in the hallway. Boom, she comes back in. But I knew it was because of me. So she come in. She like, hey, anytime you smoke, make sure you smoke in my room or the neighbor room. Don't ever smoke in the living room. I'm like, what? How they smell it? Like, but it's called loud for a reason. It's called loud for a reason. So boom, we in there, we doing our thing. So Tracy like, I'm good. I don't I don't want to smoke. So she's sitting in the chair just looking at me like, so in my mind, I'm like, just keep looking at the TV. Don't look at her. So I'm just like, but it was like, I felt her eyeballs like burning my neck, okay? It was like, I gotta look. So, pal, here you go, Lala. And I like kind of look at her, and she like, so Lala like, okay. She like, because if y'all gonna be here for a little bit, we gotta figure this out. So she like, Shorty, Lala like, Shorty, so is you and Mary a thing? I'm like, what you mean by a thing? She like, do y'all go together? So Tracy like, yeah, do y'all go together? I'm like, Tracy, I'm like, can we talk? Like, cause I just didn't want, like, because Lala was getting straight to the point. She was cutting down the middle of the cake like, bow. So I was just like, oh, no, you not finna bust me out early. So me and Tracy go talks in the Nary room. So I'm like, look, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm like, that was not my plan. So she like, you like my sister? I'm like, yeah, I like your sister. And she like, but you said you like me. I'm like, I like both of y'all. I'm like, I'm confused. She like, what you confused on? I had you first. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can't do this right now, right? I can't do this right now. So days and days pass, right? We're still stuck inside of Lala crib. Now, I'm like, Mary had dipped, right? She dropped the kids off. Ooh. Lala, she went to work. Her kids went to school. So I'm like, man, I ain't got no bud. As me and Tracy still there. So Tracy is predominantly in Lala room. So I'm like, I need some bud. I didn't want to keep having Mary to go get it for me because she was spending the money and going to get it for me. And, getting other odds and ends. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to go to a Sleepy building. I knew where Sleepy stayed. The dude that Mia used to mess with. So I'm like, I'm going to just sneak out. So boom, I always understood what time the security guards came on the floor to do their rounds. So I already knew when they did their rounds. So I hit up a partner in the building. I'm like, hey, yo, can you go check downstairs to see is the security guards downstairs? Because I wanted to make sure. So boom, my friend go check. He like, yeah. I said, look, stay down there. Stay down there. Let me know if the security guard leave. Now, this is me thinking I'm outsmart the system. I open up I put on a hoodie, everything. I put the hoodie like right here, tie the hoodie up so you can only see my eyes. Boom. Got my head down. Because we got a camera. Got my head down. Going towards the elevator. Boom. I get on the elevator. Take it all the way to the 11th floor. Go to Sleepy building. Sleepy is there. But he's there with Mia. So Mia looked and she like, what are you doing in the building? Immediately she got tense. Because now it's like, and I'm like, Mia, I don't got no problems with you. I'm like, I'm just here to see Sleepy. So she like, you don't even like him. Like, she just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, I had to excuse her because I knew she was on disability. So I was just like, I was just coming to grab some bud. So she like, how you get off the barred list? Because I didn't say you could be off the barred list. I'm like, can I just get like, $20 worth? So boom, I get the $20 worth. I leave, right? So boom. As I leave, I go straight back to Lala crib. Straight back. So boom, I'm in there breaking it down. Tracy comes out with a towel on. So she looking at me. So I'm like, what? She like, you don't miss it? She comes in front of me. She like, you don't miss it? And she opened up the towel. Now, mind you, I done hit this girl about almost 1,000 and something times, okay? So it was just like, seeing that, it was like, okay, she trying to give me this sex appeal. So I was just like, Tracy, we can't do it. She like, why we can't do it? I'm like, nah. She like, you really like my sister and you was mine. So she come over there closer. So she like, you really don't miss it? I'm like, No, I don't miss it. So she like, yeah. So she grabbed her breast and then she put it like in my face. And she like, you sure you don't miss it? Like, I'm sure. I don't miss it. She like, yeah, okay. She tied the towel up. She walks back towards the room, right? So I'm like, whew, okay. Kept rolling up. Boom. So she come back out like, can I hit your L? So I was like, yeah. She like, we can smoke in Lala room. So boom, we go smoke in Lala room. So it was like a little piece still left. So I said, you can have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have it. She like, do you want to watch a movie? I'm like, no, I'm going to go back in the living room, right? She was like, okay, well, whatever. So she started toying on her phone. So as I'm coming, you hear the door shut. Doom. That's Mary. So Mary looking at me, she like, where you coming from? I'm like, first off, it wasn't even a pause. It was more like, I wanted to ask her, like, where have you been? But I was just like, no, I was in there with Tracy. I'm like, we just had a session. And so she like, oh, y'all cool? I'm like, yeah, we good. She like, did she touch you? I'm like, no. She like, oh, here, I bring you something. So she bring me more bud. I'm like, I just spent 20. She like, who you get it from? I'm like, oh, from Sleepy. She like, you left out of here? Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I did leave out. She like, why you just didn't quote on the tongue? Like, I'm like, I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? So you hear a knock on the door. Do. Right? So she like, who is it? I'm like, let me go look. So you hear, it's Q. So it's Quincy. They brother. So she like, open the door. I'm like, I'm not opening the door for him the last time. I'm not opening this door.